Hello, Transformers fans. It is Speedball Harlan today for you guys. I have for you from the brand Don Models, the Cosmic Hunter Red Comet. Wait, why does that sound familiar? However, or AKA guys, Transformers Air Commander Starscream. Yes, for those who are wondering, this is a model kit, guys. This is not your standard third-party Transformers figure. This is, of course, a model kit of course, our Air Commander himself. Now, of course, the one question I will get asked a lot is, can you transform him? No. I say that a lot too because that's the truth. Though in this one's case, I can't even give you an answer to what he would transform into per se, because as you can all see from here, this variant of Starscream is not technically based on any normal Starscream design, so to speak. I mean, outside of the, of course, color scheme of the G1 self, there isn't any other variants or details of this model you see that are matching to pretty much any standard Starscream, so to speak. I mean, it's not the G1 Classics design. It is not the Unicron Trilogy styles, and obviously it's definitely not Transformers Prime. I mean, that'd be, wow, that'd be a stretch, right? But yes, no, this is definitely none of those. I mean, I have been trying my best to give you an answer, to find an answer for this, guys, but if I had to give you my personal guesses, at least to get an idea of what was the inspiration to this design, not 100%, of course. My best picks, I would have said animated Starscream, but no, he's got too much bulk and detail for obvious reasons. Um, I would have to truly say I would go with the live action series. Now, of course, I'm not talking about Bayverse. I am talking more or less the Beaverse series of movies, or the two movies right now. And more or less, I know not specifically the Cybertron Starscream. I would be more honestly to say it would possibly been designed from Blitzwing from that movie, or at least some of the inspiration is, because of how the details look and very live action like, with the extra pistons and all the other details like that, when we all know most cartoon designs don't really do that kind of deal. Though honestly, though, there are some present day cartoons that have similar concepts to this Starscream. I mean, like the thinning of the waist here, the big upper chest section, the bulkier thighs down here, and such like that. I mean, that's a common detail I've noticed with a lot of current Starscreams and such like that. So that's like my best guesses out of my offhand, guys, because unfortunately I couldn't really find any knowledge or information specifically on what was the inspiration behind this unit. Okay, so I mean, this is my best guess offhand, guys. I mean, I of course will try to look down the road for any possible updates that I could find on it, because this isn't the only unit, guys, in this line. This brand produced 3 models of the same mold, and of course, if your Seeker knowledge is up to date, you'll pretty much know who else was released with them. Well, yeah, enough of me talking. Let's get to looking at them, guys. This is a big model, guys. This is one of my biggest Transformer models I have built to date. There are, of course, other known bigger models out there, but I just, don't have them. This is definitely a big one, guys. But I honestly do like it because it's not a bad kit. I mean, even for a third-party kit, guys, because, a lot of fans who've built third-party units tend to say there's problems with them and such for a lot of brands. But this one really wasn't that bad. I didn't really have any problems with it. I do like it. And like I said, I love the aesthetics of them, the design, the whole, almost the the live action like details and such like that, with the classic G1 stylings. I do like all that, guys. And of course, I love the fact that he comes with a Megatron style rifle. This is so cool. I love this weapon. And if you're wondering, yes, the other 2 units will have their own as well. So yeah. Now, before I go into any articulation and all that, was there any like problems with the kit, like anything to worry about? Not really. Honestly, everything's hold up pretty well. I mean, see, I can shake it and pretty much nothing is falling off. It's all holding up pretty well. Nothing really fell off during build and such. The only like loose points, I guess you would say, um, sometimes I've noticed with the legs, they can be a little loose, but nothing terrible. And like other parts, like over here where you see the mounted shoulder guns, this section here, this white part right there, if you can see it, it holds pretty fine. But if you are pulling on the cannon itself, you can pull it right off easily. It won't break it, but you can pull it off pretty easily. Any other notable areas? Yes, the wrists. This is one of the notable points, meaning as into the ball joints themselves here are fine. They hold pretty well, and I can pose whatever I want to do with them. The problem with them is not the actual holding or just the movability of the part. It's more or less the swappable parts you can do with it. Because as I'll show you right here, you will get extra hands and such, including an actual swappable trigger hand, so you can actually hold the gun in both hands. That's a pretty awesome thing, and such like that. But the problem is trying to get this hand out. Yeah, the way the polycap inside the wrist here is designed, it holds everything just fine, but the problem is when you pull the hand out normally, it pulls out the poly cap and pulls anything attached to it. Because it didn't come with any pegs in the on the mold for the poly cap, so it's just literally one cap that sits inside there. So unfortunately, when you pull out the hand, you're pulling out the cap and whatever, like I mentioned. So that could be a problem because, of course, you could damage parts and such along the way. So simply put, guys, outside of like glue and other such things to keep it in there, you could just literally remove just disassemble this one section right here of the wrist and just pop the cap off that way and just swap the hand you want. I mean, that's just an easy method I see outside of, like I said, gluing. And really, it doesn't hurt it anyway like that, so that's an okay method there. What else? Lastly, the only other notable issue I had was with the feet. The feet themselves work just fine, so they have their toe bend and all that. But the problem I had was just getting them on the ankle itself. For some reason, every time I would put the ball joint from the thigh here in, from the ankle, it just would kept pushing the poly cap around where it would not properly connect. It would literally shove the ball joint all the way into the foot, so it would be on, but it wouldn't, like, it couldn't move properly, and that's what's the issue. And I tried many different times to adjust it to get it in there, and it would not work right. So, really quick, because I pulled the manual out so I could show you guys. If you do the foot area, as you see here, it says follow steps from here to down here where it's complete. Well, my advice is when you're doing the foot, if you do it, of course, when you get to this step, don't put the cover on to the bottom of the foot yet, right out here. What you should do is take the poly cap here, put it inside this section here, which would be that part of the back of the foot and such, and then just take that and connect it right away onto the ball jointed ankle, as you can also see right here. Then that way you can properly push the poly cap into place onto the ball joint. That's just something I came up with, guys, to help with that problem, and it did work for me when I did the other foot. So yeah, that's just my idea, guys, if that will help you. All right, now other than that, guys, yeah, that was really it. Everything else came together pretty well, detail-wise, detailing and such. And a quick mention, as you can see right there, I have this really nice Decepticon sticker on. Water slide, sorry. No, that does not come with this kit, guys. Sorry. What you do get with this kit for decals will be these right here, just pretty much standard plain decals for the wings and other sections of the body, and other number decals, and what looks like to be a skeleton or a pirate, one of the two, which they all look nice, and I would have used them, but to be honest, guys, I just liked how this looked. I really do. It got that classic look to it, and I just love just throwing on a couple of Decepticon logos and just taking a little panel liner and just pulling out all the details, guys. That's what I liked, and it looks perfect to me. I like it. I do. So yes, let's now go into the articulation as I promised. We first move that. He can go all the way that far, all the way back because there's no armor blocking him. You can go all the way out this far. You can do the leg bend all the way up to here, like I showed you because of the ball joint. You can do that with his foot, and as I showed you in toe bend. And as for his arm, you can go all the way around, up about so far because there's armor here, so you'd have to move that, but then it goes up that far. You can bend his arm all the way up this far, of course, so you can see better. And he does have a rotation here, though it can get stiff, but it rotates with no problem. And as I mentioned before, a ball jointed wrist. And you get this little panel over here that you can pop out just as I think it's just meant there as a gimmick, because it didn't really mention in the manual what it's for. Of course, the one day I don't have any fingers. Right there, so you can, I'm not really sure. But just for fun. And as for the wings, real quick, as you guys can see, you go up that far, of course, down, back up, of course, and you can stretch the wings all the way back that far, so you can get them in a really cool attack pose from the sky, of course. And the head is just on a ball joint, so la-di-da-di-da-di-da, just for fun. And yes, he does have an ab crunch. Yeah, he's working out to take out Megatron, am I right? And these can move side to side pretty much, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, for that. And as for like accessories and such, as I was showing you before, he does have extra hands, which are just common ones. You got your open hand slash, I guess in this case, attack claw. Yeah, they're really sharp looking. So yeah, there's that. You got an extra closed fist, just to punch someone with. And like I showed you, the extra trigger hand for fun. And you get an extra cover piece for this section right here for no reason. It's just literally extra. Now, the bigger accessories you might enjoy is these. A pair of extra faces you can swap with the head, which are really nice because you got this grumpy, mad-looking face for fun, which with a little paneling brought out of his mouth. And of course, you got this uh, very expressive face. Let's call it that. So yeah, and that's literally it, guys. That's all this comes with. It's you'd think more, but no, that's all he needs. But yeah, it's a really cool kit, guys. Do I recommend it? I do. I can definitely say if you want to check out a new big Starscream, because this guy is, like I said, he's big. He's almost 30. I believe he is about 30 centimeters tall, guys. So he's big. And to prove it, real quick, put him right here. And to show I'm telling you the truth, here's the Yellow Parks AMK 16 centimeter Bumblebee. Yeah, I'm not kidding, guys. That is literally how tall he is. That is crazy. And to, of course, continue showing you, here is my Blocks G1 Megatron mini model. And yeah, that's like literally recreating Cybertron's Titan Starscream versus, well, I don't have Galvatron, sorry, but Megatron. Oh, that was a good fight. And lastly, I have to, of course, for good reasons, my Flame Toys Furry Model Starscream. Just so you guys can see the size differences. And, of course, the Starscream differences, which, oddly enough, these two look very similar. So yeah, that is it, guys. I can recommend them, though. Of course, that's as long as you can still find them. I only tell you that, guys, because unfortunately, the brand Don models that he came from, well, they haven't produced anything since his release, and that was actually a couple years ago now. Unfortunately, I believe these were released back in 2021. That sounds about right. So yeah, I mean, I had hoped the brand would continue with new brand stuff or even more Seekers, but yeah, since their first releases, there literally hasn't been anything else, guys. Yeah. But you never know, that could always change. All right, guys. I thank you always for coming. I hope you're enjoying your hobby. And well, for one, I promise you will see the other two Seeker Cosmic Hunters soon enough. And I will see you all later.